Hey, it's your boy DD758. What's up? Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Ready to love. I didn't see this coming. I honestly didn't see this coming. For me, by far, this was the best episode of so far, episode 7 for Ready to Love. Because it that just took a real curveball. That went I went from 0 to 100 real quick. I I was amazed last night when I watched it. I was like Kyra. That was really interesting. But let's get to it. We had Tommy called the boys. He had the conversation with the boys where they had to meet their friends. So it was Joel and Venetia. That was the first couple, and they went. Well, Venetia went to Joel's house. Joel had his friends. He had Earth, Wind, and Fire. Though, let's have a look at his friends. His That's Joel three friends. Earth, Wind, and Fire, I call them because they gotta do the but anyway. But yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. But they were pretty cool. They met Venetia, they had a conversation, but Venetia said that she's territorial. Whoa. That really was it was a bit alarming for a guy because I guess Joel must have probably took it as, she won't give him a chance basically. Like let's say if they go out, if they conversating, if they are friends, whatever, like she won't give him a chance to breathe. But I think maybe Joel probably took it a little too serious. But Venetia is putting the eggs in one basket, and that's where Venetia is starting to go wrong because since she put the eggs into one basket, she's going to end up like Chris last season. But Joel is still playing the game. But when she said that she's territorial, that is it's a bit alarming for a guy because when a woman said she's territorial, we believe that like she won't give us a chance. Like if we go out, she'll be calling our phone, she'll be texting us. So and then she also spoke about marriage. But and then also when Joel female friend said, I know you, Joel, I know you've been married. Are you sure you want to be married or you want to get married? That also was a bit alarming to me as well. Because I guess maybe there's something she know about Joel that she's just not saying it, or she would not say it on national television. But there's a few things she know about Joel, and that was a bit alarming for me. Maybe she knows something more than we know. That's why she tell him, "Are you sure he's ready to get married?" But I don't want to rain on the parade. But then let's see how that goes between Joel and Venetia. I think Venetia should probably start seeing other people to level the playing field because she said Joel is the one for. She's pretty, she's beautiful, but mm-mm. And then those guys, I'm starting to look at those guys closer now because really starting to look like some of those guys are starting to look a bit shady. They really are starting to look a bit shady, but let's just see how it goes. Then it went from Joel to Amber and Chris. And then, Chris introduced his friends to Amber. Amber met them. I don't know how Chris' friend came up with that assumption that she's the perfect match or she's perfect, whatever he said. That's what came down to me. Like, did a perfect match when he haven't even known Amber for like what? He only met Amber for like what, 5 minutes or something like that. And he said they're a perfect match. But then when they go to the question where he asked, have they met each other's families? Yo, it's a TV show, it's a game. I don't think it will get to that far where you just meet somebody in the show and just introduce them to your family. So it when he asked that question, I think he was like the friends asked certain questions that didn't make much sense to me. And when nephew Tommy said they're going to introduce them to their friends, to me it didn't make much sense because your friends are loyal to you. Your friends are not loyal to other people. So why would your friends, tell on you or say your your downfalls, your the disadvantages of being with you. Your friends, your friends won't do that because your friends want you to be be in a relationship with the person. So I don't know how nephew Tommy expected that to work the way it was supposed to work. But next episode they're going to meet the exes, and that would be a good episode as well, I believe, because meeting the exes is. That'll be interesting. You hear the downfalls of them, you hear the advantages of their personalities, the disadvantages. But Joel, well, Chris Friends spoke highly of him, which I wasn't surprised. When they asked Amber a few questions, Amber answered the questions. But Amber is very assertive, and that's what I like about Amber. She's very assertive and she's very straightforward. Amber don't play, and she said what was on her mind. Then we went to, yeah, yeah. From there, we went to Mr. Casanova. Look, I I don't know much about Casanova. Me and Romeo had never been friends, but I heard about Jason and I saw Jason. That dude got pretty. But they met Jason's friends. It was he invited Liz and Kyra. He invited Liz and Kyra to meet his friends. And then Liz and Kyra came, you know, they had a conversation with his friends. And his friends spoke highly of him, which, like I said, it would always be to the advantage of, the guys or anyone. It would always be to the advantage of them because that's different. But they spoke highly of Jason, and Jason, he said he was kind of surprised that they spoke highly of him, which I don't know why he was surprised. I don't know what else did he expect them to say about him. And then they were speaking to Liz, and they said Liz is kind of like a stiff because Liz was speaking about God, and she wants a man that's godly, a man that's into Christ. And when they spoke to Kyra, Kyra said she wants someone to run the house. She wants somebody like a man not to be assertive and to run the house. But then that was a bit funny that Kyra, well, she didn't seem like that type of girl to me, but then I guess that's the type of girl she is. That's the kind of man she wants in her life. But Liz, let's talk about Liz. And shout out to Misha Allen in my chats. You can check out her channel because I think Misha and I see eye to eye when it comes to Liz. That competition is not the competition for Liz to be in if Liz is looking for a man that's, how can I say, on her level. Because I understand you into God, you love God, that's fine. You go to church, you sing in church, that's fine. But you cannot, to me, she and Jason would not work because Jason told you, she said he spoke about David, he spoke about the Bible, but let's just see how long would that last with Jason? That's the thing. And then Liz looks like she's really committed to her Christianity, she's committed to a church. And I do not see David being that guy. Sorry, not David, sorry, Jason. I don't see Jason being that guy. I really don't see Jason being that type of guy because mm-mm. Jason looks like the type that like to party on a weekend, have fun. He looks really flirty, like you probably go out and flirt with a bunch of women, but then he would keep whoever he would be serious to them, but he looks like that kind of guy that likes to flirt. And she looks a bit conservative. She looks like, well, she is the church type, the type that goes to church, but then I cannot see Liz meeting or finding love, meeting somebody in that show and finding love on Ready to Love because of her religion and her what she's looking for. Joel, I don't think Joel fit the criteria. Ron will not fit the criteria. AJ will not fit the criteria Liz is looking for. Who else will not fit the criteria? David definitely will not fit the criteria because David is broken. That man is broken, and that man. Let's jump on David as well because when he went on the date with Liz and he introduced Liz to his friends, it seems David is holding a grudge. That man is really, really holding a grudge. He's holding like just because she told him that she kissed Jason. It looked like he can't move past that. He definitely can move past that and probably try and move on with her. It's just a like I said, it's a dating game. You go around, you mix with people, you try to see, who's the best fit for you. And that's what Joel is doing. And that's exactly what Joel is doing. And that's why Venetia felt the way she felt. But David looks like he's bitter, like he holds grudges. And that's really messed up. That's messed up that he's doing that because the way he spoke about Liz to his friends is like Liz was like like she into him, she not into him. But he tried to make for me, he tried to make Liz look like a bad person when he spoke to his friends about Liz. And that wasn't right. Just because she kissed the other guy, that wasn't right. And he's holding that against Liz. But let's go back to Jason and his friends. So Jason and his friends, they when they had to pick between Liz and Kyra, they pick Kyra because they think Kyra would be a better fit for him. But Kyra had to go on a date with AJ. That went okay. It wasn't all that. They played volleyball. They spoke. They had a brief conversation now about it. It wasn't much. Then we had Jason having a second date with Kyra. Like I said, I don't know much about Casanova. Me and Romeo ain't never been friends, but I know about Jason. Look, my boy got game. He had the roses. He had the roses and the champagne laid out for, and he said that he said a couple of things that hit the spot. Maybe he said like he would treat her like take her in a bathtub. He would rub her back. I guess what is it? Something like suck her feet. I guess I don't know about sucking feet, but he said something to that sort. And also he told her he likes this picture. So I hope you guys can see that picture right there. So that boy got game. He got game. He's playing the game. So he told her that that was his favorite picture right there. And yeah, he knows how to finesse a woman. He knows how. And I think he and Kyra would get pretty far. But the surprising thing to me was when they had to make a decision on who they want to keep. Well, okay, let's talk about Chris and Fia as well. It was Chris and Fia, Ron, and Alexis Fly. I find Alexis was a bit judgmental when it came to the way she was speaking about Chris and Thea. Come on, Alexis, like you're like grown-ups. If she chooses to wear what she wear, where she show more of her body, it's her choice. Like you don't gotta be so judgmental about the way she dressed and the way you will dress. To each his own. People dress how they feel comfortable. So she's like, on the first date, you can't. Well, on the date meeting the guy's friends, you can't dress like that because if you dress like that, it's like it shows a little too much. Like you gotta be more conservative. That's your choice. Christian Pierre wants to dress how she feel comfortable, so she dressed how she felt comfortable. So that date, it went. They met her friends, but Christian Pierre, I think Christian Pierre was just tired of all that BS on that show. I think that's what I think, and that's why Christian Pierre just wasn't feeling that whole situation, and then she wanted to go about her business. So she got eliminated. I wasn't surprised, and I just Christian Pierre looked like she didn't want to be there anymore, in my opinion. Like she was like deuces and she gone. So that's about basically where it went to between Ron, Christian Pierre, and Alexis. I just find Alexis was a bit judgmental. They say they preferred Alexis over Christian Pierre. Then Christian Pierre went on away, and Ron was thinking that either he can have Michelle Obama or maybe just somebody else that want to party. So he was thinking about that, contemplating his thoughts about it, which I didn't make much sense to me. But when it came to the guys picking who they wanted to stay, who they wanted to leave, it was really surprising that all the guys picked Kyra. That was really surprising that all the guys picked Kyra. I didn't see that coming. I really didn't see that coming. But let's just see what my girl Isis got to say about this. What's
Oh,
up?
wow. What an episode. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So it was quite an episode.
Yes, it
I will
was.
just to respond to the last thing you said with respect to them selecting um Kyra. Kyra has the three B's. She's got brains, beauty, and body. And so for
Hmm.
Joel and David, it seems to me like they were like, if I had to pick somebody, I would pick her because she has those three things. But at the same time, they don't have any kind of relationship with her that we've seen. I mean, she's definitely not interested in David. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
But there may have been some things that there may have been some sparks between her and Joel. But I think Joel was just being a little petty when he even said her name, because he was like, well, yeah, she's still my number one. So my issue with Joel, because I still like Joel, but my issue with Joel, and I have similar issues with David and Joel. With Joel, Joel is ready to date. He is not ready for
Ready
love.
to love.
Joel has
All right.
gotten to his point since his wife's passing that now he's open enough to date, but he's not ready to be in a relationship. Because if he was, any kind of what is the word he used? Clinginess
Mm-hmm.
and Venetia's being territorial, it would be attractive to him because he would feel the same. It wouldn't be an
Yeah.
issue because it's never an issue when the person feels the same. It's always an issue when a person is not meeting you at that level. So I don't think that he would be like that with anyone. I think he's ready to get out there to date. He's been in Houston for a while. He's been working out and he really wants to, kind of enjoy dating. With respect to David, David is absolutely not ready to love. He is so not ready to love. And I hope hey, how are you? Welcome. I hope
Welcome.
that people can see David is so broken that he can't trust. He doesn't trust enough to love. He had two failed marriages, and his parents, after 40 years, church going people, are now divorced. So David is not ready for marriage. He's not ready for a relationship. He can't trust and he's fearful. So he's going to put all of that on Liz. And I knew Liz, I said earlier on, oh, him and Liz may be okay because she may be ready to, she seemed like she was open to a project, but she's not trying to play with him. I think it's going to be a wrap.
Yeah, I was surprised with Joel. I was really surprised that he felt that way. I was really surprised that when it came to
Joe
the
don't want to
decision that,
he don't want to get locked down. That's what it is. He don't want to be
yeah,
locked down. And being on this show, he knows it's gonna have a lot of open doors, and he's not ready to have a girlfriend, and that's okay. But he's just on the wrong show.
uh, what you gotta say, Misha?
Hi, Misha.
Hi. I was so shocked by Joel and
Hey,
David.
thank
I
you for
was
calling
like,
in.
can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, we're
But
in
I
it.
was
Yeah.
I was so shocked by them because it surprised me. I feel like they're too old to be acting like that. I feel like that's what
Mm.
dudes in their 20s do. As soon as there's conflict, they run. And to see them doing that in their 40s and 50s, and after both of them, I think, have been married twice. So you're doing this after two
Yeah.
marriages. It's
Joel
like,
only been married once. Joel only been married once.
really?
Yeah, to the woman
Okay.
who passed.
Okay. But I'm like,
Yeah.
you've been married before. You should be used to some type of having to like work through things. So that was weird to me. I feel like the whole Kyra thing, they don't care about Kyra. They just think Kyra's easy and
Kyra don't care
she'll
about them.
like she'll play along with
You think
whatever they're
so?
trying to do. They do
But
not give a damn about no
no, but
Kyra.
look, listen,
Neither one of
ICC made
them
a
care
good
about
point.
Kyra.
Isis said she got the beauty, she got the brains, and what's the foot be? You can hear me,
And the
Isis?
body. Yes,
The
and the
body.
All
body.
right, and the body,
She
right?
does have
She
that,
got
but
a.
they don't have no connection with her. They're just like Joel,
That
literally,
we
they
well
had to pull a clip from the mixer. Like, that's how long that it's been
Mhm.
since they've talked. Like, he had one easy conversation. He's like, she's easier than Venetia. And I think it's Joel's, he's a flirter, he's a charmer. That's very misleading to women. So I think Vernisha caught feelings very, very fast and felt entitled very fast. It's kind of like the dudes that are like, oh, that girl's crazy, my ex is crazy, I don't know what's wrong with her. And it's like you're leading her, you're gassing her up to
Mhm.
feel that way. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well,
I didn't like that.
I didn't like it too. And I find he was being a bit petty.
Yeah.
He was being a
David
bit petty.
especially,
Like
he
you say,
almost sent Liz home.
yeah.
David is fearful. So the fact that she kissed someone is an absolute no for him. But can we just, because he's scared he's going to get left, we seen him damn near cry just thinking about someone leaving him. So any kind of potential that Liz would leave him made him say, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. So he doesn't need to be in this process. But also, I wanted to say about Joel, and also to tell you, because yes, men don't necessarily change because they age. They are who they are. But in this instance, these are short relationships. They haven't been dating any of these people that long. So what Joel is looking at is that he knows who he is. He's a flirt, like you said. He's a flirt, but he doesn't always mean harm. But he's going to say, hey, baby, and he's going to tell a woman she look good. Vanessa cannot handle that. If she is upset because she said it herself, he kissed this girl on the cheek, this is not the man for her, because he's not going to change. And I don't think there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with him being the type of flirty guy or charismatic guy that he is. That's who he is. That is not going to change. And if you're a woman who doesn't want to see that, he is not the man for you. And I actually don't think he's making a bad decision by pulling out now. I honestly don't,
Yeah,
because they're not going to make it.
I noticed that even when she was talking to the female friend and she was like, stop saying baby, I tell him to stop saying baby to the girls. I'm like, that's a part of his like lingo. That's how he talks.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
so I'm
Yeah.
like, how is he gonna stop that?
Look, I work with a guy from New Orleans, and even as a guy, he even say, "What's up, baby?" So
Right.
that's it. That's
It's
part
going to
of
be what
them.
it's
So
going to
that's part
be.
of the culture. So he will not, whether it be a man or a woman, they still say, "What's up, baby?" So I don't think if she cannot
And
handle
he's
that, she should
not
just
going to
like I say,
change. And if
yeah, if
he's not going
yeah,
to change,
if
he
she
doesn't
can't
want
handle
to
that,
change, and he shouldn't have to change.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But if she can handle that, she should start doing like him, start testing the water, start talking to other people because she gonna end up like Chris.
It's too late for her. It's
It's
too
too
Uh,
late.
late.
There's nobody
She
for her.
tried with
There's no one
Dietrich.
left.
That didn't go well. So
There's no
yeah.
one left for her. And it's honestly
Uh,
no one left for Liz unless Liz tries to step to Joel. That's the only person Liz would have
mm,
left. If she tried to make a move towards Joel, I think he would be open to it. But there's really nobody left. If Ron has any sense, he will try to date Liz, because that girl Alexis does not want him. He is the person that's keeping her on the show till she thinks she's going to will in AJ. But AJ has not said her name ever. When they said, who is your number one, he has always been consistently saying Kara. And it's going to be Kara. But Kara might not allow him to do it. So if she's not going to be with him, he'll take Alexis. And that's the only way Alexis is going to win the prize of being in the final. But it won't last. He don't want her.
mm.
so okay, so what do you think about Amber and Chris? Because they were the next couple. I don't
They're
know
gonna
why
go to the end.
the friends asking have they met the parents or
I
I was
was
like,
so
Production told them to
off.
say that.
I didn't really feel. I didn't get the vibe that those
Whoever
were his
asked them.
friends. Those are his coworkers. Because the
mhm,
questions didn't really. It was like they're asking such generic questions. Like you obviously don't know Chris that well. I feel like they were just filler ins. Like he really don't have no friends that could have showed up for him. They just had him. Because I thought it was weird that it was at his job. Like, why did she have to come to your job? Like nobody else went to like they didn't meet Kyra in the like courtroom. Like it was just
yeah,
it didn't make sense to me. So I don't in the like have you mention him to your parents? Like why? Why like I don't even
yeah.
know if they're allowed to even talk about that because it's a show. I don't even know if they're supposed to be telling people about what's going on.
Yeah.
So
Also, why doesn't this man ever pay for a date? Why? I just need to know. And like, I really had liked Chris before, but think about it. There has not been one
Well,
date. The only date we seen him somewhere, Chrysanthemum invited him. He didn't
mhm,
invite her. She invited him. So every time he's with this girl, Amber, he ain't never putting $1 out of his pocket. Not $1. $1. I
Well,
mean,
I
come on,
guess
dude.
I guess he's the
She
new
not
El
worthy.
Chipo.
Yeah.
He must well.
Well, at least he's
He's El
not,
Cheapo
running out
2.0.
yeah, he's not running out on a bill, but he not even taking you nowhere. I mean,
All
can
right.
she get a
Well,
Happy Meal? He just frustrated me
Isis,
so much,
Isis,
and I used
where
to
you get
like
that? Where
him,
you
but
coming with that energy today, Isis? Where you got that energy today? You coming with today?
because it was, he just made me mad. Because I'm like, once again, you at work where you don't have to pay nothing. She come in, she go out.
Hmm.
Why she can't get a meal? Why they can't go somewhere and pay for something? Just,
Uh,
even the little golf, that wasn't even, something. I just, he's just frustrating me now because
well,
I really was rooting for him, as Tyra would say, Tyra
all
Banks.
right. Well,
I was rooting for him.
let's go to Jason, Liz, and
Oh
Kyra.
Lord.
Uh,
And
I'm
guys,
mad
go
at
check out.
Jason.
Go ahead.
I'm really bothered by I just like, at first I thought he was just kind of like got distracted easily, like it was just a physical like infatuation, but no, I think he's just like emotionally unstable. I think he's just unsure of himself as a man, because it's like you are kissing on Liz on the Ferris wheel, and then you get with your friends and they say, oh, I felt the presence of the Lord with her, and it's, oh, I already knew it was Kyra, I already knew I should have been with Kyra. And I'm like, why did you do that with Liz then? It's kind of like
he's
like there
weak.
he's just jumping around, whatever, like he blows with the wind. It's just, then when he said in the deliberation when everybody's choosing Kyra, he said, me and Kyra, we doing real kisses. We're not doing no pecks. I'm like, that is so disrespectful to Liz. Like, okay, maybe that was nothing to you, but that might have been something for Liz because she already told you about her abstinence. So I don't like Jason. I don't know. I just didn't like how he moved with that, and how he can't stick. He can't like just commit to one feeling, one girl, one emotion. It's ridiculous.
But let me ask you a question. Don't you find he's romantic though?
I
Hell
do
no.
not find him to be romantic. Let me just say that. With respect to that date, I do not think that we saw that date in the right time frame. Like, the people from last season were saying that you would see dates that happened before, after the time frame. That date didn't make sense for it to be when it was. So I don't think that that date really happens in the time frame that they're showing us it happened. I think it may happen later on down the line, or maybe earlier. But I don't think it was after them meeting the friends. The
I
other
think,
thing about
yeah.
Jason is, honestly, he's really shown me his complete immaturity. To He's just immature because
Hmm.
now, Dee Dee, you'll have to help me with this because I have a son. I'm in his room. That's his stuff up there. Um, I raise him to, if he got emotions, show it, do whatever. But this boy and his crying, like, I can't. I can't. You crying because somebody says something nice about you. I would feel the same way if it was a female. Like, what is you crying for? That right there is completely unattractive. And I do believe men can cry. I do. But this just wasn't one of those occasions. I just was done with him. And
Let
he's
me
an idiot. And
let me answer your
you know
question.
what? He's below Liz.
Let me answer your
Totally.
question to that. Remember earlier in the season he said he had a girl and the girl cheated on him and everyone knew and he didn't know. That'll answer your question.
And he
Because
cried.
he's a bit
I
too
mean, he's too weak.
soft. You need to
I don't
man up a bit.
understand how he played basketball. I really don't.
I think
Yeah,
that's like
well,
affecting him because it seems like he's like taking on the persona of like the students he's coaching. Like he literally acts like a high school athlete, like just so distracted, just goes with the trends, and it's ridiculous. Like,
yeah. Jason, I don't know, something still off about him.
mm-hmm.
I don't get that emotional. Men not get that emotional. I'm not saying there's anything wrong, but for me, that would not be a reason to cry about because they're saying good stuff about you. That means you must have been doing so much things that people hardly say good stuff about you, and then you were surprised that your own friends, said something good about you. That was rather off. Because why would you think your friends would say bad or say something otherwise than you? Than say some nice stuff about you? That was a bit
It
off
was
for me.
just it was just too touching in the way that it was like, sir, I'm gonna need you to grow some because this is unacceptable. It really is. It's
You need to grow
unacceptable
some. You need
for
to
you
grow
to
some
be on
chips.
TV with a camera crew and you sitting up here crying. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
We can't.
Look,
But how
Have
is he a good match for Kyra? Like, if that's making you cry, how are you a good match for Kyra?
That's a
I
very
kind of,
good.
after that, I'm like, I think you belong with Liz, because Liz will sit there and give you your little affirmations
Liz,
and read you some scriptures.
mm-mm.
Kyra ain't got time for that.
I
So
don't think
I'm
Liz is up
like,
for the project. Only thing Liz would
But
be
okay,
doing with him, he would be a maintenance man for Liz, and that's about it. Because if when she watches this episode, she'll be like, "Yeah, little boy, you could come over and tighten me up, but you'll have to leave soon thereafter." Yeah.
but one question though, who do you all think would be a good match for Kyra? Wow, they know the place got
Can I
silent.
say this honestly? I really, I, I want to say this. This season, this particular season right here, has the worst men of all of the seasons. Like these
mm-hmm.
particular men are definitely not one of them is ready to love, and that includes Chris. So I just don't think that these men match the level of the women that they have. Maybe if they was able to keep some of the folks that went ahead and went to Georgia and did last seasons that was from Houston, if some of them were mixed in, maybe. But these particular group of men do not match the level of the women in this group because there is no man
Mm-hmm.
there for Kara, truth be told. There is no man there for Liz, truth be told. There is no man there for Venetia, really. It was
Mm-hmm.
none for every one of these women. Is really not like Dietrich did not. He should have not been on this show. He should have not been
Yes.
on this show. He was not ready. He should have not been on this show. He too busy, scared, trying to ask you questions so you don't ask him questions. This group of men, they had a good look because when they first came out, I was like, ooh, oh. But as we continue to listen to them and see them in action, none of these men are ready for the level of the women. For Amber, there's not even really a man there for Amber. Ron is fake. I don't believe nothing that he says. Talking about he wanted Michelle but Obama. Like he is Obama. You're not bringing that to the table. Let's be clear. You're not. Stop acting like you're gonna
Hey,
take care of these women. You can't take care of these women.
hey. But
I'm
Isis, look,
sorry.
Ron got a
That's
good
how I
job.
feel about the
He's
couple.
a regional manager. He got a good job. He's a regional manager. He said he wants a woman he can just probably be, I
A
guess, a
regional
trophy wife.
manager of
So
what? And what is the region? What is the region? We all we
what's
know
up?
he's a regional
Oh my
manager.
god.
We don't know what is he selling. We don't know. We don't know. We can that title makes you think that, but that doesn't mean he really is. I haven't seen anything that was super duper fly coming from him. He couldn't even afford to get them a real person to teach them some Spanish dancing. Come on. Come on. If you're gonna be fly, let's see some fly. Show me. I
Jesus.
mean, I'm just saying, I just don't believe his spiel. He can't afford what he's saying. Because to take care of a woman where you want her to stay home, please, especially these women, all of these women are accomplished. How are you going to to take care of Venetia. She got her own business. What are you gonna pay her? You gonna be able to put her in a house that she already in? Is she gonna get what she wants? Something better. He can't take care of these women. Only one he could deal with is Chrysanthemum because she a flight attendant, and
Mm-hmm.
that's her. She
That was his
became a flight
match.
attendant so she could be a trophy wife. That was his match, and he let Alexis talk him into voting her off because Ron is going next week. It's gonna be Ron or David, but one of them is going next week. I think it's gonna be Ron. That's just
I
me.
think it might be AJ, but look, when it comes to Chrysanthemum, honestly, I like
How it's gonna be
Chrysanthemum
AJ?
because. But look, Kyra might go with Jason. Kyra that saved AJ the last time.
It's
Remember?
not, but she gonna keep, but y'all keep forgetting that's Alexis's man. AJ is Alexis's man. She not letting him go nowhere.
Hmm.
She kind of flip floppy with him. She pick him up when she bored. Like that's
No,
her
Yeah.
no,
little
that's the game
toy.
she playing. That's the game she's playing. She is 100% focused on AJ. 100%.
Wow.
She's just
I
gonna
don't
make
see
it
it.
seem.
I don't. I
What
agree with
you'll
you,
see it next
Misha.
week.
I
She doesn't want Ron. She doesn't want Ron.
wow.
She don't want
I don't
Ron.
see it.
She just wanted to be
But
Chrysanthemum.
I think with Ron is the competition. I think it'll really show now that Chrysanthemum's gone. Like, because she was so
yeah.
focused on
Because she
everything
doesn't want him.
Chrysanthemum says and does. So now that she's gone, I think we'll really see, like, okay, is she really just playing the game with Ron?
Ron
I
is
agree.
going home. She does not want Ron. Ron doesn't have anything that she wants other than she knew that Chrysanthemum liked him and that he would keep her around. She wants AJ. You all will see next week. She's only ever
I,
said, who gives her butterflies? AJ.
but butterflies, but that's for the birds.
But it's for her
Time for
too.
the, there are no butterflies around. But yeah, we'll see. But I don't think Ron might get eliminated. I think he might last a little longer. But let's talk about Mr. David. That man. To me, he's showing
Mm,
himself more and more that he's broken. And one time he did a live on Instagram that he's saying like people misconstrue him, like some of the stuff he said, and I was like, no, brother, there's definitely something wrong with that man, and that man he needs to be healed. He came on. I think that like he came on the show too soon. He should probably give himself
mm,
some time, let himself heal, and then try and probably start dating or start coming on that show because that show is definitely not for him. And the way the man spoke about Liz, like Liz was a bad person to his friends, I was like, no, I didn't like what he did at all. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that in that moment, I think that in that moment for him, Liz was a bad person because for him, Liz is now someone who could look at somebody else and maybe go that way. And for him, that's bad. That's what the second wife did to him. Left him, was
mm.
out. He loved her. He thought they was doing great and she was just out. And right now, he thought he was doing great with Liz. And now Liz is kissing someone else and he's like, she has no, I had no more use for her because he cannot deal with love right now and all of the things that go into it. Furthermore, on a side note, do he really think Kara gonna give him her passwords? She
Nope.
is not.
I don't think.
She is not. So
Nah.
I don't. Again, that little pettiness that he did with that. Ugh. And then
Yeah.
with the little slip that we seen in next week, the way he's gonna be acting with
Mm.
Liz been by
Yeah.
herself for a long time, so she's not willing to put up with a whole lot. She's not.
Yeah. Come on, give me some juice. Give me what you got to say about that situation.
I was, I don't know. This week, it was just the deliberation that was just like, okay, I felt that was super petty. And it seems
Mhm.
like he's really, really hung up on this kiss. And even for him, I don't know how Liz
Yes.
explained it to David, but even for him to keep saying Liz kissed Jason, I'm like, the man grabbed her by the head. Like, she really didn't have a
Yeah.
choice. Like, so I don't know if Liz really explained it or if he's like internalizing it and making her like the villain in all of this. But I'm just like,
To be honest,
yeah.
to be honest, the way that man petty, Liz must have explained to him as clear as possible, or as she must have been as transparent as possible. But he heard what he wanted to it, because
Right.
that's the type of person
You
he
know
is.
what? I think Liz may explain to him exactly how it was. How it was they were up on the thing and he kissed her and Liz allowed him to kiss her and she liked it because she put her head on his shoulder. So there's not like, oh, Liz didn't want the kiss. She wasn't expecting the kiss, but she did like the kiss. And the second time when he went to kiss her, if she didn't want to kiss him back or allow him to kiss her, she didn't have to. So I think she explained it to him truthfully, like, he kissed me and I didn't push him away, but I want you to know, yes, we kissed, but I'm still feeling you. And that's just not something David could deal with. I don't, and
Mm,
that's okay. Is she needs to know that now, that this
mm.
boy is insecure. He thinks because y'all went out on 2, 3 dates, perhaps, that you can't like another guy, you can't kiss another guy. Like, this is a dating show. We're not married, we're dating. We're trying to see if we ready, to love. Why could she not kiss someone else? Are they a couple now? No.
But I kind of feel like that's Liz's fault. Why did she do that? Like, why did you run back? And I kind of feel like she's aiding the like villain, like the way he's
Well,
villainizing
she's
her.
an
She's kind
honest
of aiding
person.
it by running back to him and making
Mhm.
it seem like if she's running back to him, it's kind of like you feel like you did something wrong. So it's kind of like it's feeding his
I think she does feel
narrative.
like she did something wrong, though,
But she
because
didn't,
Yes.
and she shouldn't have played into that.
but her going and telling him, I think, was partly because she knows they talk. She's sat in ones where she's heard about girls getting kissed. So she's like, if they're going to talk and it may come out, I want to be the one to tell you. And I
I
Tell
think
wouldn't
yes,
that's
yes.
why
care,
she
but
told him. But it would have been worse if she didn't tell him. So it really would have. So she's trying to say, I'm transparent, and you want transparency. So that's what I'm giving you. I do think she thought she may have done something wrong because she felt like, wow, I actually liked that kiss and I
Mm.
enjoyed the date with him. And I just feel like I also like you. And I don't want you to find this out because I am trying to build something with you. So I feel that's why she told it. The way he took it, she probably didn't anticipate he was going to take it that way, because I don't feel he's villainizing her. I feel that he's saying for him, that's a no. I don't think he's saying I didn't
Well,
feel that he was
I
saying
I
she
felt,
think
was a
he's
bad
holding it
person, but
against her.
maybe she
That's my
was.
problem with it.
yeah, but
He's
And he
and I
should.
felt like he was villainized. I felt that way
You
because
felt like that?
if you, yeah, because let me tell you why. Your friends are there, right? You introducing this to your friends. I mean, that's something that happened. She called you, she spoke about it. Like, he has it on his mind so much that it's blinding him in like actually introducing her properly. So like he introduced her, but then it wasn't on the basis that you were saying the good things about her. Like, he was just kind of like, well, this is Liz, and like, blah blah blah. It just, I feel like he was trying to make his friends feel that she's not a good fit. Like, she's not good enough for him or something like that. Because he was kind of cold. That's not a David that would be holding Lee's hands and being affectionate with Liz. He was kind of cold. So I just didn't
I
mm.
like the
think
way
he
he did
didn't
it.
even want to introduce her. I don't think he
Yeah,
wanted to introduce her at that point to his friends. I don't.
Oh my
That's how I
god.
felt like, because he heard it happen, he didn't think, she should even be introduced to his friends because he's already having second thoughts about her.
I think she's just
Well,
too genuine, too much of a good girl. It's a competition. Like, you don't need to
yeah.
run back and report nothing. It's, yeah, I just think, and she's going into this with like genuine intentions, but it's like you have to have a strategy. You have to like go about this a certain way. And she just going in talking about God the whole time. Like, and she really thinks she's being open, and like they don't know nothing about her. It doesn't seem like. It seems like every time she talks, she's just talking about God. So I don't feel like nobody really have a connection with her, because she just
Yeah.
always, it's like, what do you like, Liz? What do you like to eat? Where do you like to go? Like, okay, stop quoting scriptures, just let us know what you like. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I think
I agree with
she's
you.
not
Like
really playing
she
the
should be
game.
more, yeah, she should be more open to making people know who she is other than just what she wants. Because to me, every time I see a scene with her, she only speaks about what she wants, like a relationship with God. There's more to it than that. Like, for me, that's how I see it. But we all surprised that she was at the guy's bottom. Like that went really
She
south. It went
wasn't.
south.
Who's bottom? Who put her
Liz,
at the
it
bottom?
was Liz.
I know there was
Liz.
the two at the bottom, but I didn't really see any of the
Mm,
guys put her at the bottom.
It was
Did any of
AJ,
them say they don't
Ron,
connect with her?
yeah.
AJ,
Ron, and
Ron.
then
Okay.
David brought up the kiss with Jason. So I guess that was his way of putting her in the
Okay.
bottom.
Mm. But anyway,
But she's always going to be in AJ's bottom because, you know, AJ's trying to sex and she's not. So that's clear.
I see
So she's always
that
going to be in
sounded a
his
bit wrong.
bottom.
It sounded a bit wrong what you just said. She's always going to be in AJ's bottom.
I didn't want it like that.
Anyways, let me stop acting like David. Let me stop acting like David. Let's get back to the topic. Yeah, well, so what do you think about? Don't you think Alexis Flowers been a bit judgmental when she was talking about the way Cynthia was dressed?
She's really bothered. Like, she's just triggered and bothered. Like, Chrysanthemum ain't said nothing to her, ain't even look her way. And it's like every little answer Chrysanthemum gave, she was mimicking it, talking about her outfit. She's even the past episodes making like, do you want the trophy wife or do you want someone you can build with? Like, it's, I don't know. I just feel like it's a competition for her. Because why are you that focused on Chrysanthemum?
Yeah, but I
It
felt
is a complete
Go ahead, go
competition
ahead.
for her.
Um, Okay, I
Oh,
felt that
I was just saying
Chrysanthia
that I
is
think it's nothing but a competition.
uh-huh. But I feel Chrysanthia was over that BS. Like she looked like she was just over all those guys. Because when she made that comment that you'll get notice of your own medicine, I think there are a lot of things that we didn't see that I think transpired with Chrysanthia and some of those guys where she was like, She was just
I
done.
don't think so. I just think it's pretty privileged. She's used to men
Pretty privileged.
accepting her bad attitude. She's
Mm.
used to being able to ignore dudes, just sitting there being the mixed Italian girl and people running up to
Mm.
her. And it's a competition. You have to put in plays, you have to use strategy. And just sitting there looking pretty is not going to get you the competition in the end. So,
I think that I think that she is the exact same person that she is in her normal life. This is why
mhm.
doesn't have any man. She said to Chris that she's never been in a relationship. So this is a person who, for some reason, believes that whoever her man is, they will treat her a particular way, and
Mm.
that's how she will know. Ron was kind of making her believe that he would be the one to do that. But Chrysanthemum is not so much that she doesn't have to work or she should be. She doesn't do it, and then she wonders why she can't get a man. Like last week, she
Mm.
legit said that she knows she's Ron's number one. Now, again, we don't see everything, which is also something I wanted to say about Liz. We see they might have a 2-hour date. We see 3 minutes of a date. So we don't know what else Liz has talked about. We showed what they want us to know about Liz. They couldn't, they want us to know Liz is this nun kind of girl, but they couldn't help it when Liz walked in there with the tatas out. They was like, oh, well, that's going to mess up the way we trying to portray this girl, because we tried to portray her as, you know, Polly purebred, and she coming up in here showing it. So I think that we just might not see everything with Liz, but I digress. That Alexis, I really cannot take her. I can't take her so much. It's so much about her. Like, she's definitely not a girl's girl. She is in this complete competition, and she wants to do whatever she can to get rid of the tall, light-skinned girl with long hair who made her feel like she wasn't much when she was growing up. This is such an issue of, I want to outdo her. She was happy when Stacy left, and now she's happy that Frack is gone. And she said everything. They were at a club. If I'm coming to meet your friends, not your parents, your friends at a club, what should I wear? Like, I don't see why she tried to make it seem like his friends, not his parents, not his sister, not even his cousin. His friends. I'm going to meet his friends at a club. I'm supposed to dress how exactly? And then everybody knows Chrysanthemum don't talk much anyway. She give you one or two words like they said, but that was a problem for her because she want to run her mouth. And the last thing she said to Ron was, better not forget who your number one is. Come on, girlfriend. Come on.
But look,
really?
To be honest,
You need to do all of that.
But it was throughout that season. For me, Chrysanthemum, she didn't like Chrysanthemum didn't come there to find love, to be honest. She wasn't putting much effort into it. She was hardly putting effort into it.
No, she did come. This is what she does. She didn't come here to change her behavior. She came here to be discovered, because when her mother went to Italy, she wanted to bring something pretty back from Italy, and it was Chrysanthemum. And she came to the show so someone else could take something home pretty that was partially Italian. This is how she is in her real life. This is why she doesn't have relationships. She does not go after men. She comes with an attitude towards the men, and she wonders why she can't pull a man. Just based on how she looked as a flight attendant all over, internationally perhaps, or just nationally, you should be meeting a lot of men. Why you ain't got none? Why? Because you don't want to put any energy. This is a woman who told a man who is a widow with children under the age of 10 that it ain't going to work between them because he going to put too much time into his kids. You don't think something's wrong with her? No. Something is wrong with her. And that is why she can't pull a man. I mean, who would say that? Who would think that? They don't have that.
She said she was selfish.
This is a man. Right. And she thinks that's cute. And she's forgetting that she's not 19. She's getting older. Ain't no man putting up with that. She don't even got too many more years left to have children. So her trophy, like, you know what? Stacy is her future. That's why they get along. Stacy is her future, except that Stacy has a man. Stacy got married and she had children. Chrysanthemum ain't make it that far, but what I mean by that is I'm saying Stacy is no longer the trophy wife. She's starting to look a little hard around the edges. There's something that she's not that young girl anymore. She coming at dudes, pointing her fingers. That is going to be Chrysanthemum. But Chrysanthemum has never got to be that trophy wife. It's only in her head. What man want a woman who say, I'm selfish?
Not me. Definitely not me. But anyways,
that man would say, oh, she says she's selfish. That's attractive. I want that.
Anyways, I'm about to wrap it up. So Chrysanthemum is gone. Predictions for the guys next week. Who's going to be gone? Anybody?
Misha?
Somebody?
I feel like it's between David and Ron. I feel like that whole thing when he's like interrupting Liz, I think that's like the sit down. I think he was either about to go home, or like almost like the other option for the one being sent home. I think that's why he was like acting like that. And I think Ron as well, because the whole I'm not gonna pray, I'm just gonna go get it. Like I feel like Alexis is his only match at this point. So I feel like if Alexis decides it's not gonna work, he's gonna be gone. But I think it's between them two.
Wow. Yeah, the people in the comments sounding off as well. Everybody said is David. Let's go, Isis. What's your prediction?
I am going to go with Ron. I think that David and Ron will be in the bottom, but I think production is going to save him again this week because they see that that's something that people, this is a story, the two religious people, how it works. Whereas with Ron, the real Ron is gonna come out. He's gonna be clear about it. I ain't about to go to church, and you ain't about to make me, even though you could take me to Michelle Obama stage. All of that's gonna go to the end. She's not gonna pick him because it doesn't matter. She wants AJ. I done told y'all. She's not gonna pick him because of all of those reasons, and no one else has a connection with him. And I think that's why he's gonna go home. I think David is only gonna stay because don't nobody want David but Liz, and I don't think she's gonna want him much more. But I think production is gonna kind of keep him around. I wish production would send both of them home at the same time.
I see
But
you come
I'm
with
going
some
with
fire
Ron
today.
as the one to leave.
Ron, I will agree with Misha. I will go with David and Ron. I think, I think it might be David. Because I think maybe that thing he might have with Liz, as we saw, it might lead to him getting kicked off. Misha, shout out your channel. Let us know your channel. Let us know what's up on your channel.
Oh, yeah. My YouTube channel is Misha Allen. You can check it out, subscribe, like some videos.
Tell them about your makeup. That's all you do on your channel. What you do on your channel?
Oh my God. I do makeup tutorials too. I've been doing mostly show reviews, but I do makeup tutorials every now and then. So you can check those out too.
Yeah, guys, check out the channel because I checked out the channel and I didn't even know makeup expired.
Oh my God.
I checked out, but she does some really good tutorials on how to do your makeup, and she also do reviews some shows. But her channel is pretty nice. You can guys just check it out, subscribe to her, let's support our sister. And I don't know much about makeup, but I know she know a lot about makeup.
Thanks,
Isis,
Didi.
any last words? No problem. Any last words,
My
Isis?
only
And
last
Isis,
words is to definitely check out Misha's channel. I've been there a few times, and it's always good. And I look forward to next week.
And
I'm telling you, it's Ron.
Let me ask you a question. Are you having a good Saturday? Because you came with the fire today, boy.
She did.
I mean, it was just a show. It was just a show. It was the show.
This was a good episode, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. It was a really good episode. It was. All right, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. And please go check out my girl channel. I tell you, you will learn something. And her reviews are pretty good. It really is. She is very articulate with what she does. Very good at it.
Insightful.
So, other than Isis having a good Saturday, and Misha having a good channel, I'm about to say bye, people. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.